This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Use promo code GOLDBLOOD, one word, to match up to 100% of your initial deposit.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone. Owen!
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change, and it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun with Gore on his left hip. 3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's got it! Touchdown, 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life! It all comes to this 4th down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up by Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Womp, womp, womp. Well, that was fucking... I don't know. It's like blowing a load in a condom. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's even still a victory. I don't know what this was. But as we normally do, we're going to jump right into injuries. But we're going to do things slightly differently. We're going to jump into my injury first, right? Where we want to pick up with where we left off. Well, I guess we'll backtrack a little bit. All right. Well, first of all, we'll all say hello. Everybody say hello. Niners lost. As you know, you're probably turning to us for some guidance. So we'll try to get the bad taste out your mouths right out the gate with a story of my, Rob, how do you say it?
Dismay?
Yeah, right? Hey, it might suck to be us, but at least you're not me. And we're going to tell you why. So any of you motherfuckers that have listened to this podcast for a little bit, you know that I, in the wintertime here in Connecticut, it's cold, and I like to have fires in my fireplace. And I also like to be a man about it, and I like to split my wood by hand, like a fucking man, yeah. So I hit the rig today a couple times, as everyone here wanted me to be clear about. But my point to this is that I refuse. If Steve said to me right now, Joey, I need you to change my main breaker in my electrical panel, and you got to do it hot. And that's a hot 200 amps. I wouldn't do it unless I could hit the rig first.
That's fair. Takes the nerves out of it.
Right, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And especially if I'm.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to take the nerves out of splitting firewood, though.
I hear you.
I get it for.
I understand.
I mean, it's your medicine. It's your medicine.
Yeah.
It's your medicine. You
Gets
need your medication.
My mind right.
Yeah.
So, I'm splitting a large.
And to be fair, you do just about everything.
Yeah.
Influenced by the rig, so it's not
correct.
Like, it's not like a different.
No.
Like if I hit the rig,
right.
There's a good chance I'm cutting my hand off with an axe.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
I don't even think you could pick the axe
No,
up.
probably not. I'd probably be dead or asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably missed the wood completely,
Yeah.
hit a toe. Yeah. Something.
I mean, you probably are less likely to injure yourself after hitting the rig than if you didn't.
Agreed.
Let's be fair.
Agreed. 100%. Agreed. So, nevertheless, this story is going down the road of me injuring myself. So, I'm swinging away. Things are good. Now, I haven't swung an axe since last season. So, I'm trying to, just get warmed up because I'm going to have a big session this weekend, or at least I was planning on it.
You're a little rusty, Joe Staley?
Yeah, exactly. So, I got my wedges in there, and I was swinging away with a 10-pound sledgehammer, and I was using my weak hand, my left hand to
your non-dominant hand.
Right, my non-dominant hand to I was attempting to angle the wedge in a certain direction. So you understand what I'm saying? I wanted to redirect the angle of the wedge. So I was holding either the wood or the wedge with my right hand and then like more or less just letting the heavy axe swing. I wasn't swinging it. I was just letting the weight of it do the thing. You understand what I'm saying? And at some juncture, my pointer finger got a little wiggly, and the wood slipped a little bit, and boom! I was running around the yard. I refused to scream though because I had heard the neighbors out, and I didn't want to be a dick. So I'm just jumping up and down, and all you hear is just thuds, like. Just and me just jumping and like and thudding, and I had a glove on, so I got to the point where the pain was somewhat controllable. So in my head, I'm gonna start swinging the axe again, and I pick it up, and I'm like, maybe I should take the glove off and take a look. And I pull the glove off, and there's a piece of my skin that's about the size of a dime that's hanging on by a very small fraction of said dime. And the blood was starting to come up. So I put pressure on it. I got a Band-Aid on it. And I damaged both sides of my finger. It's bruised already. It's extremely swollen. But I'm here tonight. And I will be here next week because I play with injuries, motherfucker. Unlike some of these cunts. I got beef with a lot of these players. You could go do your injury thing, and then I'm going to tell you who I'm pissed off with.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Okay, so just...
How are you doing, though?
I'm good.
Everything okay with you?
Everything is fantastic.
All right. Chris? Good. All right. Babo, everything good
yeah.
with the little one? Yeah. Whoa. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The wife did it number 3?
Yep.
Third time's a charm, right?
Yeah.
That's a wrap?
Yeah.
No more?
No, I mean, your finger is much more important than me bringing a human.
I'm sorry.
No, you go first, Joe. I'm just populating the earth. I did hit my shin on the way over here. Like bad, like
Yeah.
like a
Blood?
not bad. Like, you know, sometimes you hit it and it shouldn't be bad, but it is. It must have been I don't know. But I like getting into the car, and when I closed the door, I was like almost brought to tears with the pain in my shin, and I was like, "This shouldn't hurt." I was yelling. I was actually did the opposite of you because I was in a car where no one could hear me.
Right.
I was actually screaming, "Why? Why does this hurt so bad? It shouldn't have hurt so bad." Like it didn't make sense. It wasn't even sharp. That it hit like a blunt edge. I don't get it.
I got something. We'll go episode 2. I got a story.
Cliffhanger.
I got
See you in a couple days when
story
episode 2 comes
for
out.
Yes.
Episode 2.
Perfect.
And my wife is going to be pissed. Okay.
All right, the news, injuries, and updates. I got a full glass of water. Chris, you might have to run upstairs and get me a second glass of water. This is
We haven't gotten together since
Yes.
last
we recorded
Monday.
Our last episode
Last
was
Sunday.
an early recording session, so it has been extra long. All right, just so wrapping up some stuff. We not sure if we covered it last time, but we're going to cover it again. Quan Alexander, torn pec. They placed
we were
him.
waiting, I think, last time on the final.
Yeah, they did place him on season-ending IR.
I'm going to take a nap.
Elijah Lee was promoted from the practice squad. We signed linebacker Christian Sam to the practice squad.
That's all one move, those three, obviously.
Yeah. We signed kicker Chase McClellan. McLaughlin. We released offensive tackle Sam Young. We activated tight end Garrett Selleck off the PUP list. We waived cornerback Big Dick Dante Johnson. George Kittle dealing with the knee and the ankle injury. He did not play in the Monday night game against Seattle, and he has already been ruled out for the game against Arizona. Robbie Gould did not play in the Monday night game, and he is day-to-day. Keller Witherspoon did not return from Monday Night Football, but he is day-to-day this week. Mike McGlinchey and Kyle Juszczyk both returned to Monday night, and Joe Staley returned, but fractured and dislocated his finger, and he is going to end up having surgery and will miss a few weeks.
Already did.
Ronald Blair, torn ACL, season-ending IR. That one stinks. We signed defensive lineman Demontre Moore. If you recall, he was a preseason player for us. He actually played quite well. If I'm not mistaken, he did lead the preseason in pressures from the edge position. So he did play very well.
It was surprising that no one picked him up with the tape he put out, but he has, because he's a vet, he's got no practice squad eligibility. So somebody would have had to sign him and put him on their 53. So it's a little different.
That makes sense.
One of the reasons we probably released him over other.
Matt Breida, ankle, he left the game and he did not return, and he has already been ruled out versus Arizona. And I think that they said it would be a couple games, so probably, I don't know who we face after Arizona. Is it Green Bay?
I saw something on him just before. I'll check it. You keep going.
Emmanuel Sanders, this was a sigh of relief. He left the game with a rib injury, and he's day-to-day, and he will be a game-time decision this week. I think, I don't know, when I saw it, talking about ribs, I mean, if it's a
what
broken,
else could it be?
If it's a broken rib,
Yeah.
that's a few weeks. If it's a cracked rib, you're probably missing a game.
This was neither. This was cartilage damage.
And this was cartilage. So this is kind of like a best-case scenario when we're talking about rib injuries. So he is a game-time decision. DJ Jones left the game with a groin injury, and he will miss at least a week. Aziz Al-Shahir had a concussion, and he left the game. He's in the protocol, and he's on schedule to play against Arizona. Weston Richburg had to leave the game with a hand injury, but he ended up returning. It seems like the only reason why Weston Richburg left the game with a hand injury was because he needs to snap the ball. Whereas if he was a guard, he probably would have pushed through it. But you got to be able to snap the ball. So it was a good heads up on his part of taking himself out instead of a bad snap, a fumble, or whatever. Marquise Goodwin, first I'm hearing about this. Forearm cramping.
Yeah.
He was out for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't finish the game.
He came back.
Right?
Yeah,
he came back.
Yeah,
Okay.
he returned to the game. I didn't hear about the forearm cramping, though. That's interesting.
So
and
okay. I'm sorry.
Jalen Hurd, the practice window has opened for him, but he is not expected to be ready this week. So I believe they get, 2 weeks or 3 weeks to look at him? 3 weeks to look at him in practice, and they will make a decision of whether to activate him to the roster or not. Nobody won the prediction game because we all picked wins. So that is that.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, who's your beef with?
Well, we do the blame game, right? That's something we do, right?
No, we do the blame game after we go through the game and all that stuff. And
yeah, I know. I'm just saying, because this is definitely going to be like blame gamey, and I guess we'll cross it again, but it pisses me off, and I have no problem addressing it fucking twice. I'm always supposed to be a wide receiver guy. Everyone says that my attitude typically sides with theirs. And I typically like wide receivers. The wide receivers for the 49ers can suck my dick from the back fucking side. This goes for Dante Pettis, who's probably fucking sucking dicks anyhow. Kendrick Bourne, who's more concerned about the fucking platinum teeth that should be covered in fucking somebody's cum, probably mine, because the fucking in your fucking hands dropping balls, you fucking cum dumpster.
if he was a cum dumpster, he might be a little stickier.
Yeah, Debo, great game, but still not. Could have. That game was 7.5 out of 10. That game could have been an 11. He could have went off the fucking chains, but he didn't. Everybody had the opportunities, and nobody did the fucking thing. They could all suck my dick. I'm not happy with them. I mean, listen, this is not the end of the world.
No,
We're still going to win the
it's-
Super Bowl, but it sucks because, everybody talks about the 70 Dolphins, Baba?
Yeah, they all get together for a fucking champagne party
Right,
anytime
they're
the final
Oh, yeah.
The one-
team
pretty
gets.
The
Yeah.
one
That's kinda
perfect
cool.
team.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
We were going to do that.
Yeah.
And now because these wide receivers are cunts,
Well,
we got to deal with this now. Blemish.
I'm going to veer positive a little bit.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
I will just say that this game was absolutely incredible from start to finish.
You're sipping the fucking ESPN Kool-Aid. Take it easy.
We are just coming off how many seasons of being completely irrelevant, a laughingstock, a fucking joke, an easy win for every single opponent that comes to face us. But this is different because the 49ers are back, and they're here to stay. As long as you got Shanahan, you got Lynch, and as long as those guys are there, this team is relevant. This team is back. This team lost a game. They lost a game and are still extremely relevant. You know what's worse than losing a game and being relevant? Winning a game and being irrelevant.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
This game showed me that this team is the best team in the league. And I know that sounds weird because it was a loss, but this was a loss without George Kittle, without our Pro Bowl kicker, who's at times was the best kicker in the league. He wasn't great this year. This was without our number one wide receiver.
For 3 quarters.
Who may not be a full number one, but is our number one for sure. And the game was over. All we had to do was kick a field goal that we already kicked once. And we walk off the field with a win without those guys. And not only did Pete Carroll get to ice our kicker, but the fucking refs ice our kicker? What the fuck is that? Are you fucking kidding me? Since when do we get iced twice? Since when can a fucking referee and a coach ice a kicker and not give us the clear first down that couldn't have been more fucking clear?
Agreed. This game, watching it, it felt like this was going to be the last football game ever played on planet Earth, and when it was over, the whole world was going to explode.
It felt like whichever team won got to live and the other team was going to die.
Yes.
That's what it felt like both sides were playing
This game
for.
was the definition of Armageddon.
And I'm only bitching that specific play with the refs. The refs were bad both ways. We definitely got calls. Like, there was definitely pass interference on us that didn't get called at least 3 times. We pass interfered and it didn't get called.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you think that Kyle Shanahan should have played for the tie?
Hell no.
If Kyle Shanahan played for the tie,
He loses
he can
all
go
my
fucking
respect.
coach for the
Okay.
fucking team from Washington.
Okay.
Kick fucking rocks. Anybody that says that knows nothing about Kyle Shanahan and didn't watch every other game that we've won because he did that.
I'm only asking. The only reason I'm asking in this particular situation is because of how it plays with the standings. And if they would have, instead of losing a game, they would have stayed 2 games ahead of them in the standings. That's all I'm saying.
You can't look at standings in week 10. You start looking at standings week 15, week 16, week 17.
Kyle Shanahan will tell you today.
There's so much football left that you can't look at standings right now.
Kyle Shanahan will tell you
point
today.
I was making.
Today, if you ask Kyle Shanahan today, he would go back and tie.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, he's not stupid.
for sure.
But also, if Dante Pettis catches a ball that basically hit him in his fucking chest, it doesn't matter. We're not having this conversation.
Right.
I will say this. Win, lose, tie, live, die, every single fan base kills to be in a game like that and have that kind of entertainment.
And what do you tell that whole offense that's worked their ass off, and even through the bad that they did, they put their fucking life out there that game. What do you tell them by fucking running 3 plays in a row and taking the tie?
Every single player laid it out there. There were plenty of mistakes for sure, but this team never flinched a single time. That was championship level football.
That I disagree with. Jimmy Garoppolo was clearly shaken because the wide receivers were dog shit.
Yep.
He was fucking nervous.
Yeah, that was
under
not
center
a great
because
performance
A,
from
the
him.
tackles didn't play great.
Yep.
And B, the wide receivers were dog shit.
I think
When it came down, normally, when it comes down to that part of the game, we all go, here it comes to Kittle. Here it comes to, it was Crabtree for a while. Here it comes to Trent Taylor it was for
it's
a
been
short
becoming
stretch.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Somebody.
Yeah.
But during that time, I went, who the fuck is he going to, who? I literally, in my head, I went, use check, hopefully. That's the only guy, and he had already dropped one.
Yeah. See, I did not.
I was thinking Debo.
I definitely had a different take.
Or Kendrick.
I did not see.
Up until he dropped that one. Sorry.
I mean, what about Jimmy's play made you think he was nervous? Because some
The
of the
2 clear pick sixes that he threw.
but in games that have gone
that were dropped by the,
But
and then
hear
the
me
2
out.
that were dropped by the other
Hear me
team.
out. Games that have gone really well for him, he has these what the fuck was that throws?
But there was
not with the game on the
more-
line in overtime.
Yeah.
Those usually come
Yeah,
in a
they
weird
First quarter.
That is true. They usually come
It's not-
early.
I've never seen Jimmy like that when it's go time.
When it matters.
It just, and again, this is just feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there talking to him, but just he looked different. He didn't look as
You could
poised
tell
as
with
he always does.
how hard he was throwing it too. Like,
Yeah.
that he had no
And-
faith that someone was going to grab it. So if it did hit a defender, it was going to do exactly what it did
And
twice.
he's pretty good at hiding his emotion when the play doesn't go well. It was clear how pissed he was when they were not catching those balls.
I still he would have those passes where he would hit a Seahawk right in the numbers, and then you would say, "Oh no, like something bad is going to happen." But the very next play, he responds with a strike.
When he throws a bad pick like that, and it gets dropped, I breathe a sigh of relief because I know I got a little while before another one comes.
Yeah.
You know, like if they drop it, I'm like, oh, cool, all right, that got that out of the way. Now we can fucking focus.
I think
But there
that
was a
not
couple
this
there.
game.
Yeah, there was a couple there.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that we're finally learning what Jimmy Garoppolo is right now as a quarterback, and he's definitely got some what the fuck moments to him, but he definitely responds after those what the fuck moments. He doesn't just shit the bed.
And I'm not blaming him.
Yeah.
I think he was shook because of the wide receivers. I don't think he
I
was
don't know
shook
how
because
you
of him.
can't be.
I mean, if George Kittle or Emmanuel Sanders is in there, it doesn't even go to overtime.
Agreed. If Emmanuel Sanders doesn't
Either
get
one.
hurt, if Emmanuel doesn't get hurt, they win the game. No, in my opinion.
Either one of them.
Number two.
If Robbie Gould doesn't get hurt, we might win the fucking game.
Agreed with that too. Back to something Steve said last week, kind of that you had talked about the two tackles, and that you were saying how maybe they'd put him in halfway, something like that. I got to be completely honest with you. I don't know that this was the right game for them to even come back in.
The thing is,
It's easy to say that. In
I
hindsight.
understand that, but even Shanahan admitted it. That wow, yeah, the tackles were rustier than I expected.
well, you could say that maybe if you had School and the other guy in there, whatever the fuck his name is, that maybe they would have played a better game. You could say that,
Right.
but in the long run, the fact that McGlinchey is in there a week earlier is going to help at the end of the season.
I hear
and
ya.
if Staley didn't fuck his finger,
You also got to think
it's
to yourself.
it's that continuity from week 10 rather than week 11 or 12 or 13.
I hear you.
That's going to help.
You got to look at who you're playing too. This is the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. You got Joe Staley, who has been to war how many times? He knows exactly what kind of game this is going to be, as opposed to a Justin School, who has played 6 games in the NFL. 0 of them have been high intensity like this.
Did any of you hear? It was one of Sherman's pressers this week, and someone asked him about the Thanksgiving game. Right?
Yeah.
And they mentioned to Sherman that Staley had mentioned about Sherman eating the chicken leg and how it pissed him off more than losing the game. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
So this reporter said to Sherman, Joe Staley talked about that game and talked about seeing you eat that chicken leg was made him more pissed off than losing the game. And Sherman goes, oh, that's interesting. Maybe if he was more pissed off about losing the game, they would have won the game.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of a dig. Like, it would have been a valid dig to if he was still a Seahawk.
Yeah.
The fact that they're on the same team made it a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it was just honesty.
Yeah.
I think anybody would agree with that. That's a football player, probably.
Yeah.
But it was just like a little bit of like, "Ooh, I wonder how that went over."
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was. As soon as he said it, you could feel the whole room like, oh, all right.
So, offense off the top, 302 total yards, 215 passing, 87 rushing. We went 6 of 15 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. We went 1 for 2 in the red zone. We allowed 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, and 7 tackles for a loss, and we committed 3 turnovers.
A lot of talk of Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
I feel like it was more Staley than Clowney.
Agreed.
I feel like that wasn't the Staley we know.
No, it wasn't. I think
I mean, he had a good. Obviously, you can't discount Jadeveon Clowney. He's Jadeveon Clowney. But for him to have a breakout game the day that Joe Staley's back, and
if I had to put a barometer on it, I would say 75% Clowney, 25% Staley.
fair, totally fair.
But
I mean, he's still Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, he's not. It's not like some nobody had a good game.
yeah. So
Fuck him anyway.
on the first
Sideways.
drive, we got a what the fuck moment from Jimmy. He threw an interception, but it got nullified by a penalty.
And that's another one where I'm like, real. I mean, is that really like? Thank you, refs, but
But I
Okay.
will say, no, it was a clear hold.
yeah,
It was a jersey pull on Jimmy's primary read. So
Okay.
had he not been held, that would have been an easy throw for him. The decision to throw to his second read, horrible decision. I mean, the guy couldn't be more covered. He threw it right to the defender. Anyway, and also just an absolute brutal. That drive continued after that interception that got nullified. We work our way down the field in an absolute brutal third down drop by Goodwin around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, if you could put a grade on the wide receivers as a whole for this game, it's an F. It was terrible. The only one that did anything of notability would be Debo.
And I will
and
say,
Emmanuel Sanders' first quarter.
Yes,
You know?
Debo definitely had a really bad drop in this game, but he also had, how many targets? 12 targets, 13 targets, as opposed to...
I'm going to get those numbers.
Target to drop ratio is important, and I think that what we're seeing is, I know you could go back last year to Dante Pettis' game against Seattle in Seattle, and he had a good game there, but I think it clearly comes down to this. Deebo Samuel was built for NFC West football, and Dante Pettis is not.
Dante Pettis may prove not to be built for the NFL as a whole.
Dante Pettis belongs in a division that does not play defense like this division plays defense. Dante Pettis needs to get traded to like the NFC South, the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, whatever.
Did you say the AAF?
Or that.
Or the CFL? Because that's where he belongs.
That's what I just said.
I mean, he's got to get his fucking shit together. Moving on to our second drive, we ended up getting big plays from Debo and Coleman. They get us all the way down at the red zone.
Debo was targeted 11 times, had 8 grabs.
Yeah, not bad.
Unlike Kendrick Bourne.
Well, not only did Debo have 8 grabs, but he looked like Kittle on a couple of those.
Debo is definitely a bully.
Yeah, glad I got on that train right off the rip.
Yeah.
Kendrick had 8 targets with only 4 grabs. And then you'll look at Dante Pettis, 3 targets, no catches, and he was publicly shamed by his coach. Oh, Emmanuel Sanders, 4 targets, 2 catches before he went out.
On the second drive, just a beautiful throw and catch to Sanders in tight coverage to get us really close into the red zone, and then we ended up getting a touchdown there to Bourne on a 3rd and 8. Jimmy, third down, getting it done.
Oh, yeah, Papa.
3 minutes left in the half. Jimmy gives up a sack fumble on second down. Fucking brutal.
I got to be honest. Okay, keep going.
You got it. I understand that sack fumbles happen to the best of quarterbacks. It happened to Wilson this game, but twice in one game, you can't let that happen. You gotta hold the ball better. It can't happen.
So there was a breaking news. Shanahan did not mean to say Kittle will be out. What happened was he was talking to the Arizona media. They do that like opposite.
Yeah.
They do like a conference call.
Yep.
And he told the writers from Arizona that he would not play. And they said right after that, a 49ers spokesman came out and said Kyle Shanahan meant to tell the Arizona media that he has to plan to not have him, but it will be a game-time decision.
Oh.
So there still is a chance.
All right, so now
George Kittle.
Now I'm wondering, is Shanahan just trying to make Arizona game plan for a Kittle that's not playing all week?
No, I think we saw this week. He said a normal player would probably be ruled out, but it's George Kittle.
I was surprised that Kittle was already ruled out when he was like kind of a game time decision.
When I saw that, I will say that when I saw that he was in the box and not on the field, that made me think it was worse than they're letting on.
Yeah, for sure.
A guy like that, that's a guy that you want.
He wants
ramping people up.
If
the fact that he was up there,
he wasn't in the box voluntarily. I'll tell you that right now. He wants to be on the field.
It
with
made
his
me
guys.
very uncomfortable. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, if he's in the box, he was told to go in the box. Yeah, so
I mean, Quan's on the fucking bench with a brace and a fucking sling, raising his arms, trying to get the crowd into it after having surgery.
Yeah, very interesting.
They were like, he's out. We don't give a fuck. He can go get hurt.
I think it's the lower leg. You got to be able to, get out of the way.
And also, Quan's already done for the season, so they're like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever happens to you, happens to you. So, Rob, 3 minutes left. Jimmy gives up the sack fumble touchdown on a second down play.
Both of those strip sacks hurt me because it was bad ball They didn't punch it out.
I thought
he had bad control of it.
I think the first one was bad control. I think the second one was a straight just.
Maybe he didn't see it coming.
Any quarterback would have gotten it knocked out, but that first one was bad. You got to hang on to the ball there.
And I get it. Like, you have two hands for balance when you're falling, and if the ball's in one of them, it's probably a reflex. It's probably a weird thing, but it looked bad.
Then we got the big drop by Kyle Juszczyk on the very next play. Pettis had his own drop, and it would have been hit Pettis right in the hands. He was getting pushed down the sideline, but he was still in bounds. It would have been a conversion on a 3rd and 14. That would have been big.
Is that the one when he was falling out and took a hit?
Yes.
That's the one where I knew he's just soft.
Yes.
It wasn't that big of a hit. And he
on
dropped
his
the
way
ball.
down to the
he's
ground.
He's just soft.
Yeah.
He's just soft.
Usually, like, I would feel the need to defend him as well as Kendrick Bourne and all the receivers, but I will be the first one to trash all these guys after this week. It was fucking terrible. It was one of the worst games I've seen played by it was definitely Pettis' worst game, one of Bourne's worst games. I mean, you had a stat? Richie James didn't even play or something?
Richie James did not get a
Was he
single
dressed?
offense. He returns punts. Yes, he's dressed.
Here's the thing. He was not going there was an extra wide receiver. So the plan was to go into the game with 5 wide receivers dressed.
Sanders.
So we released Dante Johnson.
Okay.
He was active the week before. We released him thinking Akella was going to be active. Right? The plan was to have Akella Witherspoon active in place of him.
I thought we released him for Garrett Selleck.
Well, to make roster room, yes.
Yeah.
But go back a week, Johnson was active.
Okay.
So there was 6 DBs active. He's gone, so that brings us down to 5, which brings the wide receivers up to 6. Apparently, this is what I'm hearing. And then when he goes out closer to the game, we've got an extra spot, so that wide receiver, because he's healthy, comes up. I don't know who was the one on the bubble, but because we had so many injuries, you play everyone that's not hurt.
Right.
So Shanahan was saying somehow it went from 6 DBs and 5 wide receivers to 5 DBs and 6 wide receivers. So through the week of practice, Richie James didn't do any game planning stuff. He was just doing punt returns.
Oh, come on.
Or some mathematical bullshit,
Well, I mean,
you would think that there's at least some plays you can put him in without practice.
I mean, what are you saying? He doesn't know the playbook? I mean, he's been in the offensive. I don't know. He's been in the offense for 2 years.
I assume Kyle Shanahan knows more than me, and I'm just regurgitating what he said.
Totally get it. I mean, out of all the wide receivers on this team, Pettis isn't the one that I want gone the most. It's fucking Goodwin. He does nothing. He does absolutely nothing for this football team.
I hear.
Yeah, I disagree 100%. I will take Goodwin over Pettis because whatever was going on with his arm, I don't know. He's had a lot of the games he's been out are something totally personal, and Pettis has no excuse. There's nothing going on in his that we know of. He just doesn't catch the ball and doesn't fucking run the route right.
I agree with what you're saying about like their assessment on the field, but it's my understanding, and I know that you don't even give one single shit about this side of things, but at some point it does have to be addressed. It costs a lot more to have Goodwin in the locker room at this point than it does Pettis.
Not even that. It's that Pettis still has a chance. This is
Right.
Goodwin's 7th year in the league?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Goodwin
just
is
think,
what
yeah,
Goodwin is.
Yeah, I think
Just development-wise. I mean,
I would be willing to bet that when we sit here next week, that has changed.
what?
I would put money that come 7 days from now, we're going to see in this list of people that had a good game. If I had to pick one of those two to be on there, I know who I'm picking for sure.
between Goodwin and Pettis?
1,000,000%. I'll put $10,000 on one of them having a good game before the other one.
That's a fair point. It's hard to argue that. It really is hard to argue that.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine what happens between now and next week or the week after where Pettis goes, click, got it.
Well, I will say this: when he was called out last year publicly by the coach, he did then go on a mini tear, right?
Yeah. I mean, he showed signs.
Right, and he was called out today by Shanahan.
He was
again.
called out in the preseason. He was called out in week 1.
So I know,
But he was a little more direct today.
right. So maybe that's the only thing. Maybe that.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
But
sparks
I
it.
know if I had to put money on one of them having a good game, it's Goodwin all day.
Okay.
And especially with Debo being on the other side because they're so different. And I also think even if Goodwin doesn't catch a ball, his speed is going to keep the safeties back further than anybody else on the team.
I don't think this league respects Jimmy's deep ball. He hasn't done anything.
If nothing else, if he just runs straight on every single play, that safety has to take a step back.
You do.
If nothing else.
You do.
Even just for the run game, difference.
I'll tell you what, if it was me, if I was a defensive coordinator scheming against the Niners, I would say, don't even worry about the deep ball because Jimmy can't throw it.
Yeah. I'll bet you that Debo and Marquise are starters.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. But I don't know what the hell happened to Marquise Goodwin over the last 2 years. He almost had 1,000 yards in 2017 with Jimmy, and literally nothing. Like, Kittle was still a rookie. We did not know that he was a Hall of Famer yet. And like, how did he do that?
I don't know what is going on with Goodwin's personal life because his wife is still pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We all thought it was that again, but she's pregnant still.
So going back to Debo, doing a fucking fantastic job of working himself open on a broken play, and Jimmy finds it for a first down. That we needed to challenge for, mind you. We needed to challenge for that first down. I don't know. I didn't think that it was that hard of a judgment call on the ref's part. They're standing there at the sticks. How do you not see that? He just had a first down.
At least Shanahan got a challenge.
At least I got it right.
On the next play, after that huge play by Debo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne lets a ball go off his hands for an interception. Off his fingers. That was the worst drop of the night because it resulted in an interception that went the other way. What, 30 yards?
It wasn't
Not good. Not good.
It wasn't good, Steve. It was like dead babies.
I am almost done with the offense. Hold that.
Okay.
You had the Kendrick Bourne 2-point conversion.
That was hot shit.
Yeah, that looked almost a little bit too easy in a fucking game where you couldn't gain a yard without losing a player. That looked a little too easy on that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And then after the 3-and-out by the defense,
Makes me think the NFL fix was in. Sorry.
The defense, we'll get to the defense, but the offense, after a 3-and-out by the defense, the offense comes out with a really nice drive. It was jump-started by a connection to Debo over the middle, who just absolutely refuses to go down. And the offense quickly moves the ball into the red zone, and Jimmy, this is a series of plays right here that kind of defined the end of the game. Jimmy gets sacked on a second down, and then again, Kendrick Bourne has one of the worst drops ever. A perfectly thrown ball at the 5-yard line hits him right in the hands.
Yeah, he was
have to kick a field goal.
Fucking piss poor.
And last thing, Jimmy almost throws another horrible interception inside 2 minutes remaining in regulation. What was it? KJ Wright, their linebacker, hit him right in the fucking chest.
Brutal.
But after that, Tevin Coleman had some really big plays to get us into field goal position to tie the game before the end of regulation. And then overtime was overtime. What? We got the ball twice, and
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't put it in the fucking end zone. They couldn't put it between the fucking arches.
They moved the ball enough to get us into field goal range.
But then it just puttered out.
And the ball got kicked out of the stadium. But anyway.
Puttered out.
I mean, at the end of a hard week, it's kind of great to sit down and take some time off and watch some football. I don't know how much sitting you two did on Monday night.
None.
I don't think I sat for a single minute.
No.
After like the first quarter.
My cat was just following me circles. Just while we were walking around my tight living room, and the cat was just 2 steps behind me. But game-winning touchdowns on 2-minute drives. Running backs racing down the sidelines with no one to stop them. There's nothing else like the NFL. And there's no better way to make the games even more exciting than to bet on them. That's to bet your hard-earned dollars and ducats on them.
So do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag.
Yeah.
There is no one that gives you more ways to win than they do.
No.
MyBookie's got the fastest payouts and better lines than any other
Sportsbook.
Don't forget, where you're betting is just as important as who you're betting on.
Uh-huh.
MyBookie.ag is the best in the business.
Woohoo.
It's where I play, and where you should too.
That's right. Okay.
Core talking points.
The core talking points are, I wouldn't be telling you guys to bet with them if they weren't the best.
Do the smart thing. If you're going to bet this football season, bet with my bookie.
My bookie.
If you're the kind of guy, are you that kind of guy
Yeah.
that likes to bet a little
Okay.
and win a lot?
All right. I'm listening now.
You should be.
Well, what do I got to do?
You should try a parlay.
Oh.
Let me ask you a question. Does my bookie do a Survivor?
Oh.
Because I'm on
Maybe.
fucking fire.
Yeah.
Most Survivor pools ended this week
Yep.
because of the Indy
Miami.
upset
Yep.
and the
Miami.
Saints.
Yep.
The Saints
yeah.
upset. Those
Yeah,
two
that was a
upsets
big one.
crushed everyone. There were pools with like hundreds of people left that are down to 3 or 4.
Yep.
And I'm still rolling. I still got some good teams left on my list too.
That's awesome.
I still got the Saints. I still got the Packers, I think. I got some teams left.
Take the Packers over the Niners.
I'm going to play it out and see if I can go all 16.
That's right.
All 17.
If all your picks come through, you will multiply your winnings.
Oh.
And no matter how you bet,
Okay.
the NFL season is the best time of the year.
Join now. My bookie will double your first deposit. Use promo code
Gold blood.
to activate the offer. That's promo code
Gold blood.
Visit mybookie.ag today. You play?
You win.
You get paid.
So we're probably past. We're probably not even supposed to keep doing it, right? Did we go over?
We have to have like a finite round of
So Kyle Shanahan on Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
You're fired.
No, actually, exactly opposite what he said about Dante Pettis.
Oh.
When a guy with really good hands drops it, it's not because he has bad hands. So then you look into why it was. It usually comes back to their eyes and their vision and concentration, or someone ripped it out, and that's not what happened. Bourne, I'll always put him up there. I think Bourne has as good of hands as anyone in this league, and sometimes when you do that, you don't focus. You don't concentrate on it because you're never scared of dropping it. Interesting. Because did you read what he said about Pettis?
Yes.
Very opposite.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck-
Very much not praising
Fuck
him
you,
for having
dog.
great hands.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
So I
suck.
thought it was interesting.
You could argue. No, I don't know if you could argue that. You could clearly say that Kendrick Bourne and Dante Pettis both had absolutely atrocious games from a drop standpoint.
Yes.
But I think everybody in here would be in agreement that you would rather keep rolling Kendrick Bourne out there.
Well, Kendrick Bourne also had 2 great plays,
Yeah.
which Dante Pettis did not.
Dante Pettis does.
I'll take 50% over 0%.
Yes.
Correct. He was zero.
That's,
He was 0.0.
And on that 2-point conversion, do you see Jimmy? That was an audible at the line.
Was it?
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne lined up further in.
Yeah.
Jimmy rolled up to the center and then told Kendrick to move out
Yeah.
further, and then he came back in on the route and caught the touchdown.
Yeah, that one looked really easy.
Okay. You want to go defense?
Dante Pettis' season-long stats.
No.
That's
Not pretty.
depressing.
It's like just over 100.
It's 11 catches. I don't know the targets. 11 catches for 109 and 2 TDs.
109. That's a good game.
Yeah.
That's Deebo Samuel's game.
That's a good game.
Man, that's crazy how fast Deebo Samuel is just like immediately better than Dante
So
Pettis.
glad I got on that train.
Like,
There's umbilical cords longer than 109 yards.
and I don't, you know what? I don't think that Deebo Samuel generates the kind of buzz that maybe Dante Pettis did last year, but
Black
Deebo
Eye with-
Samuel is
He
kind of
will.
like a quiet force to be reckoned with.
Come back to me in February and tell me about Devo.
Yeah.
when he's got that Super Bowl ring and he's fingering bitches with
He's
it
just
on.
a fucking dog, huh?
Once he gets that Super Bowl ring stuck
And
in
they
a
were-
broad's pussy.
They were hard yards he got.
Yes.
He was breaking tackles, and he was mowing people down.
He is the wide receiver you want when you're facing the Seahawks.
Yep.
Okay.
Defense off the top.
Defense.
First of all, thank God for our defense.
336 total yards allowed, 189 passing, 147 rushing, 7 for 15 on third down allowed, 2 for 3 in the red zone allowed. They had 5 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, 7 tackles for a loss, and they had 4 turnovers.
We aren't even talking about half of these struggles if it's not for Jaquiski Tartt's play on that fucking drive.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that happens. I was ready to smash my TV to pieces,
Which
and
one,
then
Rob?
somehow Tartt's got the ball, and I'm like, what is the play where their DK Metcalf is
Oh,
about to score the touchdown and
yeah,
ruin
yeah,
all
yeah.
of our nights and weeks and make us all cry, and he's mowing people down. Nobody can tackle him, and somehow Jaquiski Tartt has the ball in his hands.
He just took that
It-
motherfucker.
Amazing.
He just took it. He said,
Amazing.
"Mine. Sit down."
This
Sit down,
was an absolute clinic put on by this defense that is missing Quan Alexander, it's missing Akella Witherspoon, and it's who else are we missing? We're missing somebody else, right?
Jones had gone out by then.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He played though.
Blair.
I mean,
now.
Blair. That's
Yep.
what I meant. I always those fucking linemen get me all fucked up.
But
Go.
yeah, no, Akella, and then somebody else I thought from the secondary too either went down or
Yeah, I think
or
I'm forgetting
whatever.
somebody.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I mean, this defense backs. We've seen this so many times this year where the defense, you think that okay, well that's it. They can't do it again. They can't keep doing it. And then the Steelers game, they fucking force a key turnover in the fourth quarter. Like, do not ever think that this defense is done trying to get the ball back, because they will. And
In overtime,
honestly,
Russell Wilson is driving in to win the game with a touchdown, and our fill-in linebacker intercepts him.
Yeah, like, show me that.
Jesus
Who
Christ.
else intercepts Russell Wilson multiple times, right? Because they got him twice, right?
just an unbelievable
Insane.
showing from every single
total
player.
dominance on the defensive side of the ball.
They have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
We haven't had a 49er put up a stat line like Fred Warner since 2015, I think they said.
Yeah.
Patrick Willis.
No, it was earlier than 15. It was earlier. Nobody in the NFL has put one up since 17, I think they said.
Yeah.
2017.
And honestly, I'm thinking about it earlier today of who the hell am I taking for Defensive Beast of the Week? I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that, but just starting off
Steven.
with this.
It means nothing after a loss.
No, yeah, you're right. DJ Jones could just completely mose over the center on a third down sack on the opening drive, and DJ Jones is playing at an elite level.
Is he the one that ran Russell Wilson down an open field?
Yes, he is.
How embarrassing is that?
DJ
Go ahead and tell
Jones.
me that everyone on that Seahawks team is not playing that video for him.
Chris,
Hey, look at this fat guy running you down.
Chris, for all of the people that said that John Lynch can't draft, go find out what round DJ Jones was drafted in.
When he ran Wilson down, I was like, did he just do fucking cocaine on the sideline?
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing? He was like shot out of a cannon. As soon as I saw Wilson bootleg out and a lineman chasing him, I'm like, well, he's toast.
We saw it the week before, too,
fucking
against
ran him
Kyler
down.
Murray. He ran down Kyler Murray the week before.
Oh, yeah, and he got a horse collar, right?
You want the
No, that was D
That was
Ford.
default.
You want the round?
Yeah, DJ Jones draft round.
I'll let you guess.
Fifth?
Not
What year?
fifth, sixth.
Sixth. Sixth round pick.
I'll let you
27th,
guess, not
27th.
fifth, sixth.
You have-
What year?
Thanks for letting us guess, Chris.
I was like, I don't know. I thought you would say the fifth, and then someone would maybe say sixth. I didn't want to dwell on it too long. It was 198th overall.
What year?
Even if.
What year?
2017.
Okay, sorry.
The same year Pettis was taken 44th
You get it.
overall.
You get a sixth round pick to play even just one game at an all pro level, at an elite level, that's a hit.
Dre Greenlaw.
Sixth round picks are usually off the fucking roster.
Dre Greenlaw. George Kittle.
Unreal. Undrafted free agent Emmanuel Mosley showing up early with a nice pass breakup. He is playing phenomenal.
Yep.
And at this point,
So is Kittle.
after seeing what I've seen for the last 5 weeks, and especially after what I saw Monday night, I don't think I would take Emmanuel Mosley off the field.
They're saying he's coming off the field.
I mean,
They're saying when Witherspoon's ready to go, he's going.
I'm glad I don't have to make that
Isn't
decision.
that crazy?
I am really happy I don't have to make that decision. Early second quarter, Robert Saleh dials up a huge blitz call on
We
third
saw
down.
a lot of blitz this game, and it was really well called.
Really well timed. And they're able to get home for the sack, and they end up, what was so huge about that early second quarter sack was that they were in field goal range, and then they weren't anymore. Big run stop.
Was that Freddie?
Yeah, that was Freddie.
Both of his were on third downs.
There was
So he had two, right?
these two plays back to back. It's 2nd and 2, and they have a big run stop where the runner only gains a yard, purely based on effort. I have seen that play get a first down 99 times out of 100 because the defense just assumes that on 2nd and 2 they're going to get a first down, but not this defense. This defense does not fucking quit, and they hold him to 1 yard. You know what happens on the next play? Russell Wilson rolls out. It's 3rd and 1, play action bootleg, throws it. Fred Warner pass breakup, 4th down. When you could string plays together like that just on pure tenacity and relentlessness, that's championship level football.
On the other side of the ball, Poppy.
Kawhi Williams forcing fumbles after fumbles after fumbles.
He's a wild animal.
He is a fucking freak. Then you had midway through the third quarter, Fred Warner gets home again for his second sack of the night. This one also coming on a third down. And then Wilson throws. I will say that the touchdown that Russell Wilson threw to Jacob Hollister, where you kind of maybe saw a little push off there on Tart, that ball was just like uncoverable. It's impossible to cover that throw.
Yep.
And then possibly the fucking play of the game. Momentum had fully swung in Seattle's favor at this point in the game. They had full control of this game. They were up until DeForest Buckner, the scoop and score.
Scooby Poopy scored at a housey.
Okay, I'm so glad that you said that because I have neglected this entire episode to mention that I hope Booger McFarland is lit on fucking fire and a group of 1,000 men piss on him to put the fire out. He is the worst announcer I have. Joe Tessitore is fucking terrible.
Yes.
He makes Booger McFarland. Booger McFarland makes him look like he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
On that play, did you listen to them?
I don't recall them talking about that play because
oh my God.
I needed to be resuscitated after that.
That was the one where Wilson fumbled it, and their lineman had it in his hands.
Yes.
And then Greenlaw,
Fred Warner punched.
First Quan got it out.
Yep.
Then
no, not Quan. Greenlaw. Quan's on the sideline. Oh, K1.
K1,
sorry.
K1 got it out. Then their lineman has it, and then
Fred,
and then scoop and score.
Yep.
This fucking moron must have said 7 times that their lineman took the ball away from Russell Wilson. Like a lineman sees a guy getting sacked and takes the ball from him to go forward. What offensive lineman that wants to have a job takes a ball out of a falling quarterback's hands to try to run with it? A running back? Okay. A wide receiver? Okay. A fucking offensive lineman? That guy would be out of a job so goddamn fast. And even let's say he just had a lapse in judgment. If you watch the play, it was very fucking clear that the ball is out and fumbling around, and he saw it and went, "Oh shit, there's a football. Let me grab it."
It actually didn't even hit the ground.
But I mean, it was in the air.
Yeah.
It was clear that Russell did not have possession of it.
Yeah.
When the lineman took it, he said it so many times that Tessitore actually said, "No, that was definitely out before he grabbed it."
Yep.
And he had to correct it because it was so fucking bad.
How many fucking times in this game did Booger McFarland say, "This is what we've all been waiting for to see Jimmy G if he can live up to the moment"?
Who's been waiting for that?
And
When Russell did it, it was like, oh, there's the Pro Bowl. Or
yeah. What about the pick he threw?
Yeah.
He did it 3 times, and all 3 times, Tessitore had to remind him that Jimmy Garoppolo is out there without George Kittle and without Emmanuel Sanders.
First of all, there's no way that either of them is there next year for Monday Night Football. I'm guessing they don't make a midseason change, but they are fucking terrible.
I am seeing Peyton Manning being involved with some ESPN articles.
He's doing some stuff too.
It's on him though.
Yeah, it's totally on him.
Yeah.
But I think
they dropped the ball, and they didn't even drop the ball because they tried when they didn't figure out what the number was to get Steve Young to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't want to.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He said no. They tried.
Yeah.
But there's a number. There's a number for everything, Steve. If it included a private jet, whatever the fuck it was, he's there every week. He's on site.
You know what? I although it is fun to make fun of how far ESPN has fallen as a company, whatever you want to call them, a conglomerate compared to the other media outlets, I think that they probably intentionally had this as a setup year for whoever they get next year, because whoever they get next year
is going to be better.
Is going to look phenomenal after following up this act.
Who was it last year? Was that Witten last year?
It was Witten and Tessitore last year with Booger and the Booger Mobile. Remember that fucking shit?
I heard a rumor that they're going to bring the GBP on to do Monday night duties next season.
I'll tell you what, it would be more entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
No, it's just the Beast of the Week. On the offensive side of the ball, I am going to go outside of the box. And even though he missed the one to win it, I'm going to give it to the rookie kicker. Because he learned about the NFL this week.
If he missed the kick by a foot, I would have been okay with that. He kicked that ball to fucking San Francisco. That ball had a better shot at making it through the uprights and Candlestick.
He just squibbed it. He squibbed diddly dicked it, man. That was.
And to be fair, he was double iced, but Jesus Christ, that was fucking painful.
It's really just more of an insult to the rest of the offense.
Did y'all see the Jennifer Lee Chan video?
No.
Oh yeah, where it landed in the tunnel.
So they won't let media out when the kick is coming. Mm-hmm. So they're stuck in the tunnel. So she takes her phone out and she's recording, thinking she's going to get the crowd going ape shit when he makes the fucking field goal. Instead, she catches a football flying into the tunnel.
Oh,
she's standing.
That's pretty good.
So the name of this superlative is Beast of the Week, and I'm going to let that word beast drive my decision here. He had a drop, but Deebo Samuel was a beast on Monday night.
For sure. If he wasn't there, we don't win this game. And we don't
even come close.
We're not even in overtime. It's not. We get blown out.
Nope.
I agree.
Defensive Beast of the Week.
This is a tough one.
This is very tough.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Freddie. I was leaning K1 all day.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was Freddie's game without Quan means he had to do a little more directing traffic as well. And he felt that pressure, is my guess, to performing the way he performed.
It is so insane after the play that Tart made. He makes that play any other week. He's a shoo-in.
Because it's the game.
Dre Greenlaw. He makes that play any other week. He's a fucking shoo-in.
Yeah. K1 forced 2 fumbles.
K1,
I know.
I don't. This is.
That's why the only reason I went Freddie is because it seems like when the shit got tougher, he got tougher. Where the rest of them, it seems like that's how they play every week.
Fred Warner is a fucking stud.
You didn't even put Armstead up there.
No, I just ran out of fucking room.
You could have put Buckner up there.
Yep.
He recovered 2 of the fumbles. He had the scoop and score. I mean, yeah, I'm giving it to Freddie. But damn.
And hats off to Robert Saleh because he dialed those fucking blitzes up at the exact right times. I mean, those third down Russell Wilson was sacked 5 times. Find me a game where Russell Wilson's been sacked 5 times.
I'll ask you
Find
this.
me one.
If this defense played like they did the week before against Arizona, Kyler Murray scores 0 points in that game.
Ooh.
0 if they
Wow.
played like this.
Got a little peek at our score prediction for this week?
I'll save that for episode 2.
I guess I got it a little bit out of order, but we're going to go blame game.
We're stringing everybody.
We are
along.
running a little long here, so
Blame game should be a quick one anyway.
yeah.
Okay.
Dante Pettis.
Wide receivers, all of them.
I am blaming. It's fair to blame Dante, but Kendrick Bourne had the drop off of his hands that went for an interception. Kendrick Bourne had the drop inside the 5-yard line, which I believe we would have scored a touchdown on.
Kendrick Bourne had a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
The touchdown that Kendrick Bourne had, any of our receivers could have made that play, except for
Dante Pettis.
Except for Dante Pettis. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne's drops were definitely hurt more. They definitely hurt our chances at winning more than Pettis' drops did.
Pettis' drop cost us the game. 1
The
million
one at the end?
Yeah, that Seattle wouldn't have got the ball back.
He
catches that ball, the clock gets run down.
I was 50-50 on that. I think it could have been a way better pass.
Of course, but he also could have caught it. And
It
then
just
game's
wasn't
over.
as blatant as all the
The
other
way
drops.
Shanahan said it is because he stopped running. That if he ran through it, the pass would have looked better.
Yeah, he's a cunt. He's a cunt,
Cost us the
and
game.
it could have gone either way. But I'm going with KB.
You could just said all of them like I did, but okay.
Fair.
That's the blame game. So, Steve, why don't you do the particulars? Daddy's all tired. He's not feeling so hot.
Your finger hurt?
Everything hurts. My cunt.
All right. So if you would like to email us, gobloodedpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram is hot. Current on it. Gold-Blooded Podcast, no underscores. And there is a Twitter. Curran's on there occasionally. Gold-Blooded Podcast. Patreon, if you would like to donate to us.
Yeah, give us ducats, you fuckheads.
So we can fucking capitalize on these great picks that we're making every single week with mybookie.ag. Promo code GoldBlood. If you would like to donate to us, patreon.com/Gold-Blooded Podcast, as little as $1 a month, as much as $100 billion a month. If we get $100 billion, I believe that we could probably call the 49ers and maybe get, I don't know, buy a new receiver or something. Somebody who can catch.
We should start a GoFundMe.
Yeah. But anyway, that's that. We will be back for episode 2.
I think we got to get chairs for this.
Oh, real quick. Somebody I read somewhere saw pregame Dante Pettis practicing his touchdown dance.
Ugh.
Just so you know. Not catching balls out of a jugs machine.
Like, wait, what dance in particular?
Something about dunking on the uprights or some bullshit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
All right, Joe, send us off.
All right, everybody. Hang in there. Hang in there, kitty.
Yeah, we're only 8-1.
Yeah.
It's okay. We still got a chance.
Yeah, let's not get on the panic that Jimmy G is an AIDS victim or that, anything bad is really going to happen. Nah, I mean, everybody's got to lose sometimes. Bye-bye.